Hey guys, Dylan from the Geek Duo here, and today I'll be bringing you my reaction to Hazbin Hotel Season 1, Episode 8, titled The Show Must Go On. In the Season 1 finale, all bets are off as the confrontation between the legions of heaven and hell begins. Now, the legions of hell is pretty much 5 people plus a town of fairly weak cannibals. I say fairly weak. We don't actually know what their power is compared to everyone else, but compared to the main people, you've got an ex-exorcist, you've got probably one of the most powerful overlords, you've got an ex-overlord, whatever Nifty is, the Princess of Hell, Angel Dust, Serpentius and his inventions, because I'm assuming they're coming back this episode. Yeah, so them versus just regular run-of-the-mill people. I don't think the cannibals are going to do much than act as cannon fodder. We may also get Cherry back. Could get Camilla, though I doubt she'd stick her neck out to actually fight beside people. Like, sure, she supplied them with weapons, but I don't think she'd actually go out of her way. Could get Lucifer. He'd be pretty handy in this fight. I don't remember if Rosie was there with the Cannibal Town, but if she was, then that's another Overlord to add to the mix. Versus an entire army of exorcists who don't know they can be killed, so that is something they've got on their side. But yeah, I can see a lot of Hellions being used as cannon fodder here. But let's see if I'm correct. In 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, also, I know there's one song in this episode, and I might know a couple things that happen, let's say. They're going to be vague in the case that they don't, but yeah, I'll explain more at the end if they do happen. Vox, why are you watching? Hey, Cherry is there. Kinky. That was probably just a, hey, remember this guy? Yeah, they're still around. Hey, you caught the rats. Not that angel. Oh, she's got Elsa's cane again. And really meant it. Yeah. There are a few people that Alistair seems to actually like, and all of them are female. Go for Patches. Okay, he does say it. It was pointed out that she never actually did rebuff Serpentius in the last episode. Oh, hey, there's a second song. Oh, that's sweet. And for her to share a song with two of the most important people in her life. What even I haven't bucked. Yeah, that's definitely something Alex would do. A little serif shield with the apple in them. I wonder if she got that from her dad. I thought he was just gonna say no shit. I'm pretty sure they're already dead, Nifty. Why would you say something like that? Poor Velvet. What does he mean by that? Alistair, you don't even have a angelic weapon. I still don't get what Velvet Steel is with the V's. Like, Vagatha. No, not the Egg Boys. The fuck? Oh, they've got demon forms too, do they? I had a feeling we'd get to see Charlie's full demon this episode, but hey Vaggie, I do have to ask why you're not using your wings in this fight. Speaking of, now would be a good time for Lucifer to show up. Literally tearing your own arm off. Okay, he's a mask. There we go. That's one of the things I had seen. You got Eve as well? Yes, what the fuck? Well, you did tell her to stab every angel. Oh, Kiki. Fat Nugget survived. That's a Penchus didn't. I will admit, the context of this song is completely different than I thought it was. I thought this was being sung about Alistair. him dying in the battle, or at least they think he died. I didn't even think about the fact that Pensius doesn't have a part in it. Seems Cherry's on board with the hotel now, though. Check out this little magic number. Could they just not get Velvet's voice actress for this episode? Because she didn't say a single thing. Yeah, Valentino and Vox said, "I'd for you." See, that's why I thought it was about Alistair died for his friends. Surely have a back door once I figure out how to unclip my wings. Guess who will be pulling all the strings? Day in her. I just noticed that Alistair turned Kiki into a keyblade. Like he. Okay. So I guess redemption is possible. Okay. Almost everything I thought I knew about this episode happened. Um. Okay. So first off, to finish my thought, I knew he transformed it into something when he did the bit of creation for me part of the song. But and I do also know that Kiki is the keys to the hotel, but he turned it into a full keyblade. Yeah. So touching on the things that I alluded to at the start of this is I knew Adam died, and I knew Lute had an interaction with Lilith. Because, surprisingly, there were 5 songs from this, 4 or 5 songs from this show that I'd never heard before. Let me just bring up the hotel soundtrack. Happy Day in Hell. It starts with Sorry. The More Than Anything reprise, Whatever It Takes, and Welcome to Heaven. So 5 songs. from this that I had never heard before. The problem is, occasionally, when you're listening to music from a show, a couple fan-made songs will enter the mix when you've got it auto-playing, including a lute version of Hell's Not Forever, where she talks about how they killed Adam and everything, and a version of Stayed Gone, which is between Lute and Lilith. That is, mentions the final, like the ending of the battle, which I knew from The Show Must Go On, or whatever the last song's called. So, yeah. So I've had those 2 points spoiled with me, but because they were fan songs, I wasn't sure if they were what if, because I do know that even from the theories, even from the start, was what if Lilith is in heaven? And so, yeah, I thought that may have been a fan song, and the Adam died could have been a what if, but I didn't know Petrus died, which is... It's real good that he's the one who gets to prove that Thingo is, like, doable. Redemption is doable. But, yeah. It's sad that he's had to die to do that. So basically, it may seem that any death grants you the next stage. So like, you're human, you die, you can either go to heaven or hell. You're in one of those, you're permanently killed, you get another, like, reroll, which could also explain where the Hellborns come from. What if, and this is completely wild, so the extermination only happens in the Pride Ring, which is the top layer, and that's only where the Earth-based sinners can go. They can't travel between the other rings, from what I've heard. Meanwhile, the Hellborns can go through portals between the other rings. So what if, when an Earth-based sinner dies and they haven't been redeemed, they go and become a Hellborn? And the Pride Ring is sort of like purgatory. Huh. Can't say I've ever heard anyone think about that, though there probably has been discussions about it. But that raises a question. What happens to the angels when they die? If an earthborn sinner, when they die, can be reborn into heaven, or if I'm correct, become a hellborn, then you'd think that a earthborn angel would be able to be sent down to hell if they died having been corrupted, which you can clearly say Adam was, and he corrupted the exterminators. Speaking of Adam, I just remembered, did Lucifer really say he fucked Eve as well? Like, we know he took his first wife, and he's like, but your second, but was he just saying that Eve was hot, or, because I mean, technically, that's your wife's sister, if you want to get down to it, or I guess half sister, with Adam technically being her dad slash husband. Yeah, fun fact. Eve had two dads. There's also the fact that they used a very black magic Wicca thing to make Eve, but we're not going to touch upon that. But yeah, it's very seemingly that Lucifer said he either fucked Eve or he wanted to. Because I know in this, it wasn't the whole apple of knowledge that let sin into the world. Again, that's Adam's fault for not telling Eve about the fruit of knowledge. Because God told him, then made Eve. Adam never told Eve, so Eve ate the fruit. And everyone blames her for it. It was actually him and Lilith that brought evil into the world by turning against heaven's plans. So, what is the whole deal with Eve? Why have we never seen her? Why haven't we heard anything about her? On that note, Cain and Abel, why haven't we heard anything about them? Because, like, Adam says that he's the first person to ever make it to heaven. Yet, Abel was meant to be so good that it was the jealousy that Cain had that was able to be manipulated into the first murder. So you'd have thought that Abel would have been the first angel. So there's a lot of original family lore that we still don't know. And yeah, so I'm very interested to see if that gets touched upon in the next episode. Also, I love how the V's were just sort of forced into this episode. Like, we haven't seen Vox or Velvet since, what was it, episode 3? Well, Vox episode 2, I think it was, and then Velvet at the Overlord's meeting in episode 3. Valentino's been a running thing throughout, but yeah, so they sort of like, hey, remember that these guys exist, and they're antagonistic towards our main people, and they are hungry for power. They're going to be important next season, but just the running commentary on this episode really wasn't needed. But also, they were set up as such an antagonistic force in the start of this season. And then all but one of them dropped off before we even hit halfway. But, yeah, anyway, so this isn't going to be the end of my Hazbin Hotel videos, because next week I'm actually going to be reacting to the pilot, and then the week after that I'm going to be reacting to the Addict music video, which will be like when I reacted to the Arcane, whichever song that was, I can't quite remember. But, yeah. I think Insane may also be a canonical song. However, I've heard that many times, so I won't be reacting to it. But yeah, so there's 2 more weeks of Hazbin Hotel stuff. And then we'll just have to wait until the next season. But with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one.